Hey there, and welcome to Real Investment News. I'm Mike O'Neill. The markets are all trending a little higher this afternoon. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ are all up about 0.5% as investors get ready for the Republican tax bill, which the House and Senate are expected to vote on tomorrow. The big question is, of course, how are we going to pay for it? The latest version of the bill, which was released on Friday, reduces revenue by, hundreds, thousands, million, billion, trillion, $1.47 trillion. Republican leaders insist that the increase in growth and wages will more than make up for the difference. But last week we showed you how multiple groups looking at both the House and Senate versions of the bill showed that even after you consider dynamic scoring, it will still fall short by $1 trillion. Now, last Friday, Lance Roberts spoke with the chair of the House Ways and Means Committee, Kevin Brady, and he said this when he was asked how we were going to pay for it.
On the deficit, I'm convinced we want to have higher deficits and more debt. Just keep the status quo. Just keep a 2% or sub 2% economy for another decade, and that thing is going to explode. We got to get the economy moving, more revenue coming in, but that's not enough, Lance. We've talked about this. You gotta get your spending down. You gotta tackle the entitlements in a good, smart way, save them, but we gotta restrain our spending while at the same time we're getting some revenue.
So Mr. Brady says things would get worse if we don't cut spending and continue with our growth at about 2% or lower. Got it. So today, the conservative-leaning Tax Foundation came out with their analysis, and what did they find? Well, they found that the Republican bill is going to add about 339,000 jobs, increase wages by 1.5%, and GDP growth is going to be less than 2%. So even this group says that the bill will bring in $600 billion in revenue, but add another $440 billion in deficits. Now, in his latest blog post, Lance is re-emphasizing the point that there is no historical evidence that cutting taxes is going to lead to stronger economic growth. And you can see here that at this rate, the debt is going to cross the $30 trillion line in the next 10 years, and the deficit is going to close in on $2 trillion. Now, we're going to be talking with Lance about this in depth later this week, but you can read his blog right now on realinvestmentadvice.com. In the meanwhile, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube page. I'm Mike O'Neill, and we will see you after the markets close.